What's up, everybody? My name's Chance, and today we're going to be diving into a Mono White Aggro list that honestly is doing pretty good. And there's one key card in this that I haven't really seen elsewhere that's doing spectacular, and that card is Lavabrink Venturer. The ability to give your creature protection from all either odd or even cards is insane. It's good against the aggros, it's good against the control. Now it's not going to dodge everything, of course, but this is a very strong card that I'm happy that it's seeing play. You know, when Ikoria first dropped, I saw this and I was like, man, that seems really strong, but we didn't really have the aggro elements to back it up. But now with the addition of Seasoned Hallowblade, Luminarch Aspirant, things like Maul and Skyclaves, right? It's been seeing a ton of action. We're finally there. We're finally to the point where aggro has some other options to make these 3-mana cards, such as Lavabrink and Archon, that much better. Now, let's go ahead and dive into this deck from the bottom to the top. We have Giant Killer to deal with those Omnath decks, to deal with Bone Crushers, you know, all that really big stuff that you're not going to be able to deal with simply your creatures. Selfless Savior is going to be able to give your creatures indestructible for the low cost of just sacrificing it, which is always beautiful. Venerable Knight is simply a 1-mana 2/1, which is just really good value, right? And whenever it dies, if you have another Venerable down, then that Venerable becomes a 3/2, which is also beautiful. Glass Casket is going to be some simple, cheap, and easy removal for us. Kabira Takedown. Honestly, I love this card so much. One of my most favorite flippy floppy lands because it's so simple and yet it's so fulfilling when you get to use it and you destroy something with it, right? Luminarch Aspirant going to help you build, and this is one of the new cards from Zendikar. Puts those +1/+1 counters on things. It's awesome. Don't rush this card down. Don't rush it down. It's really easy to remove from your opponent. You need to make sure that you have the good place to play it in. Otherwise, your opponent is just going to Spikefield Hazard it or, you know, sneeze on it, and then it's going to die. So don't do that. Seasoned Hallowblade, speaking of, you know, dying and all that, this one actually has a very hard time getting removed from the battlefield. 2 mana for this 3/1, discard a card, tap it, and it gains indestructible. Now, not like the Orzhov aggro list we played, we don't necessarily have things we can send to the graveyard and then bring back, yada, but there will generally be, you know, an extra land in hand or an extra Giant Killer maybe that you don't need as much as the Seasoned Hallowblade. So there's always going to be a card that you're like, yeah, you know, I could probably get rid of this and it's worth the Seasoned Hallowblade. But don't ever discard cards just to keep this card alive if it's not actually doing anything on your board, right? Shepherd of the Flock. Of course, I guess if you're that far behind, it's probably over. Shepherd of the Flock, 2 mana for this 3/1. That's nice stat lines. 2 mana 3/1. That's a blade. That's a good solid stat line. 1 mana, you can instant speed return target permanent you control to its owner's hand, and essentially what you're going to be doing here is the same thing with Selfless. You're going to be protecting your more important creatures. You know, bounce that Seasoned back to your hand, or, well, I guess not Seasoned, but, well, there's things like Myra's Grass. You get the point. If your opponent's going to remove a piece of creature or whatever, use your Shepherd, use your Selfless, keep them alive. Archon of Emeria, 3 mana for this 2/3. Each player can't cast more than 1 spell each turn. Now, I will go ahead and tell you this deck doesn't generally have a problem with that, right? Even if you are casting 1 spell each turn, if you already have a Maul down, you can continuously move the Maul and it doesn't count as a spell, you're just equipping it, right? If you don't have a Maul down, well, 3 mana to automatically equip this card onto a creature. Even Archon of Emeria is going to allow you to deal tons more damage and yada. So this just helps slow your opponent down and allows the board state that you've already built up to continue to prevail and that kind of stuff. Skyclave Apparition is great removal while also being a 2/2 body, which means, you know, it's removal and it can attack. It's everything that an aggro deck really loves to see. Legion Angel, 4 mana for this 4/3. Again, whenever it enters the battlefield, you can reveal basically another one from your sideboard. We do have 1 in the sideboard. Whether you want to play 1 in the main board and 2 in the sideboard, or 2 in the main board and 1 in the sideboard, or 2 in the main board, 2 in the sideboard, whatever combination you have, try to have some in the sideboard if you're going to have some in the main board. Otherwise, this card's not, like, you're just paying 4 mana for a 4/3 flower, which isn't awful, but you could probably find that elsewhere that, you know, offers you a little bit more or whatever. Last but not least, we have Baneslayer Angel. Now, I don't believe that the original Mono White list that played this had this in it. By the way, this Mono White Aggro list did go number 2 in the French Redbull tournament. So, you know, it's got a little bit of baggage to it other than just me saying, hey, it's good. So, They were playing best 3. Obviously, we played best 1. Yada yada. Baneslayer, flying, first strike, lifelink, protection from demons, protection from dragons. That protection from demons, dragons, actually sort of prevalent in nowadays standard. We do have things like Tabarex and you know, other demons that sort of fly around here and there. Protection from dragons. There is Terror of the Peaks. We don't see it a ton. It's not crazy often, but it is there in some matches. And not to mention the other aggro decks you'll be facing off against. Mono Red, Gruul. Baneslayer is fantastic against all those, right? Baneslayer deals with Questing Beast, it deals with the Annex and all that kind of stuff. So, and then, you know, we have Makindi Stampede, which you won't be using all the time, but when you do use it, generally, it's going to be the reason you won the game, right? So, it's nice one-off. And then, of course, we have Emeria's Call, which allows you to give your creatures indestructible. This is just a huge value card. If you have it, play it. If not, don't worry about it. Anyways, that's going to do it for the deck tech breakdown. Hope you all enjoyed. As always, thank you so much for clicking in, tuning in, joining us, supporting the channel, all that beautiful stuff. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Leave a comment if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or you're just answering the daily question, of course. I always love reading those responses. And if you're new here, hit that bell. Hit your computer. Just smack it. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell icon so you can get updates, notifications, all that good stuff. And as always, I'll see ya in the matches. Bugblade. Now, the Dimir Mill, we might have to go back into ranked 4, actually, because nobody in the standard play queue is going to play us. We all already know that. We've seen it a million bajillion times. Nobody in... And I don't blame them, you know? I really don't. If your rank's not on the line, nope. No siree. Alright, well, we don't have the fortune of having the Kabiras, whatever this time, so we'll just Glass Casket that Cobra. No problemo. Hopefully they can't remove Glass Casket. Now, they are in green, which means they probably have that ability. Wow, you're really not going to like me here. You're really not going to like me here. Now, one reason we go ahead and destroy Yorvo here instead of waiting for their turn, 3 mana is actually all they need to mutate a Gem Razor down into a Yorvo. However, 4 mana is a hard cast of a Gem Razor, right? Archon of Emeria could work out for us as they are mono green, but I think I want to wait. Do I want to wait? I could also just play down another Venerable Knight or even my Giant Killer and get down Archon. I like that. Let's get efficiency out of our turn, play 2 things down, then limit them to only playing 1, right? So this way they can't do like big creature plus Great Hinge. Now they can do a Vivian, which is, you know, put a 3/3 down with reach, which means we can't swing it with Archon. We could swing it with our other creatures, but she's still gonna live through it. We could tap their creature. Yeah, that's what we should do. Wait a minute, I'm speaking all kinds of crazy. Yeah, just tap, 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 and then take you out to the ball game. And we get down Venerable. All's well that ends well. Now, we do have enough mana for Makindi Stampede. Is this instant? Oh, it's sorcery. It would be sorcery. It freaking fracking would be a sorcery speed spell. Now, little unfortunate here, we're not going to be able to swing in this turn because we need to be able to tap their Gargaroth come their turn. But what we can do is play the Legion Angel, still have 2 mana for the Giant Killer. Thank you kindly. And yeah, pass it back to him. Because again, we Gargaroth, since it has Vigilance, is one of those weird creatures you don't just want to tap it just to deal the damage, because it's going to untap, attack you, and still be untapped come your next turn. So you can't just play it like that. You have to tap it on your opponent's turn, so they don't get to attack, basically. Anyways, they're probably going to use a ram through or some shit here. No, they're just trying to straight pass to attackers. Well, I'm going to tell you that's not going to happen. I'm going to go ahead and tell you now. Not happen. You're going to have to kill my Giant Killer before you let that Giant swing at my face. Just not a huge fan of it. Great Hinge. That is a pretty good single card to play. Makindi Stampede puts Giant Killer tapping Gargaroth out of reach, but does it allow us to kill them is the question. +2/+2, so we'd have 4, that's 8, 3, 11, 4, 15, 6, we'd have 21 damage. Now if they block the 6, we still have enough. They use Great Hinge, though, and we're off by 1, and they can Gargaroth their way back in it. So we can't do it. It's not lethal. If it's not lethal, you don't do it. Alright, well, if that's going to be the case, let's just get down our big old Legion Angel. We're gonna go no attacks. If they gain... Oh, they didn't even tap... No, you fool. You absolute fool. They didn't tap the Great Hinge before I passed it back to their turn, so they didn't gain 2 extra life. Now, I don't think it would have mattered. No, I'm the fool. I'm the fool. I passed 2 attacks. I'm so sorry, everybody. I was sitting here trying to explain how they messed up and then I messed up. Also, they're only... The one card that they play is a Lotus Cobra? Bruh. And you don't gain life? I mean, I guess they don't know we have Makindi. Alright, so we have to let this through. Have to. But, you know, the okay thing now, we can still tap Elder Giroth. You can't do anything with that mana, not worried about it. We can still tap Elder Giroth and get through. Now, they do have Lotus Cobra, which makes things a little difficult, but I think we'll still be able to win. We'll see. Math is for chumps. Let's do it. So we have 10 damage coming through in the sky. We have 8 damage coming through on the ground. They can't tap Great Hinge. No, we have 7 damage coming through on the ground because they have to block a 4/3. So they're going to live with 1 health, and they lose both their creatures. We'll lose a Venerable Knight. But man, oh man, does that ever suck miscalculating. We're off by 1 again. That's... Oh, no. Wait. Yeah, no, we are. We're off by 1. Chance, you fool. You absolute buffoon. It's fine. It's not like they'll be able to kill me, but you still don't like to be off by 1 point. You know what I mean? Of course, they do only have 1 spell to play. They can only gain 2 life from Great Hinge, so unless their spell that they play is just an absolute monster, even a Giroth wouldn't do it, right? Because they could block, gain 3 life, take out a 4/3, but we'd still have 9 points of damage coming at them, and we'd still be able to tap the other Gargaroth. So they would be able to go up to 6 health. Would we still? Yeah, we'd still have that. We'd still have lethal. All right. Well, then that's going to be a GG up against Bugblade. I'm not going to tell it to them too soon here because I don't want to ruin their fun and be like, hey, there's actually 0 amounts of plays pretty much that you can do. Now, there is that 1 mana mono green card, Primal Might. What? Yeah. You got me. Forget about Primal Might and Ram through that kind of stuff. Right. Just remove the Archon and then it's free ski. Alright, so they swing in. They're still up to 6. They can block the Legion. We can still tap the Gargaroth. So we still do have lethal on board. As long as Giant Killer lives, we're 8 to okay. Now they have 3 cards. Who's to say one of those pieces isn't removable? It's not. Okay, cool beans. That is 11 points of damage coming at us, though. It's not great. And a Lotus Cobra. All right, that's GG. That is a GG. They got close. And we almost botched it. We almost freaking botched it. GG. Alright. It was all for show. You know, I gotta keep y'all on the edge of your seats. Otherwise, what am I doing here? Dunce. Could be dunce, I suppose. Yeah, it's not bad. We have a turn 1, turn 2, turn 3 play. Granted, it's a little off kilter of what we would normally be looking for. Still, happy to have it. Hey, Venerable Knight, that's a good one. So I hear. I know some people actually might be questioning why I don't play the Selfless first, but I think the ability of the Selfless is worth preserving, if that makes sense. I don't want to Glass Casket that. We saw earlier, Glass Casketing too soon, it can be a bit troublesome. We are going to swing in. Again, we're aggro, so we want to be dealing that damage. As I say, if they block, we use Selfless. Not a big deal. But obviously, if they're working on some kind of party system here, which Draneth isn't, but, you know, if they are, or Kutro isn't, I'm sorry, Draneth. Draneth, I believe, is a place? I could be very wrong about that. Now, do we want to Skyclave Apparition that Kudra, or do we want to just Glass Casket it? Glass Casket leaves us 1 mana left over, but we don't have anything to do with that 1 mana, which is why I say we should go for the Skyclave. It's all about that mana efficiency. You heard? Thanks for the Draneth. For the Kudroskian. I could swing in with both here. Let's swing in with both here. Again, we're Mono White Aggro. Worst case scenario, they block Stonework onto the Selfless, and then we pay 1 mana to take out a 2 mana card. We're still getting mana efficiency out of it. We're still dealing 2 damage to the face, and they're left with 0 creatures. Now, they could turn around and board wipe us. I was about to say, I highly doubt it, though. So, extra damage. Try to get it in when you think you have the board presence there. Get it. You know, don't just hold back the 1/1 because you've always seen people hold back 1/1s, or because you think, you know, it's not worth it. Because you got to look at it and you got to value it. 2 mana, 1 mana. You're gaining that 1 mana of value. Now, Migration Path. Not super happy to see it, but our opponent's playing a 4-color deck here without blue, might I add. Without blue, I am a huge fan of that. No blue in your deck? Yes, sign me up. So I could go for the Glass Casket plus the Seasoned Hallowblade, take out Stonework, and for sure get in good damage, right? Take them down to 10, then we're, I think, okay, so if I do this, take them down to 10, that's not lethal next turn, but if I put both these 2 down, I think it might be, so. We're going to go for the Season. If we need a discard, we have the Makindi Stampede. If we hit a land next turn, then we just get to play Makindi Stampede, and that's for sure lethal, so. Taking them down to 10. It's the Paragon. Oh, and they kicked it. They got a Winota. It's a 4-color Winota deck. Ladies and gentlefish, are you ready? Are you ready? So who are we sending up to the sky here? Skyclave, I almost want to say. We can swing in with all the rest. Keep Selfless back. But I want to be able to hit with as many as I can, and I believe this is what allows us to do this. They should block. Are they going to block the Venerable, though? They are not blocking. You're crazy. By the way, that would have been lethal had I been able to hit with the Selfless. So, just heads up. You know, I didn't do the math last turn, but it turns out it was right on. Right on cue. Now, they are going to swing in with the Paragon here. Problem is, we still have the Flyer, and we still have the Indestructible, which means we're probably going to win. Good game. Oh, I mean, we could have finished it out there, Dunce, or Dunk. Keta 02. Kita? Keta? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it seems solid. We got some turn 1 bodies we can put down. We got some turn 2 removal, and we have some turn 3 high in the sky flying ability. Others might call that evasion or whatever, right? Let's go and get down Selfless. I like Kabira Takedown. We will save that if at all possible. That's one of the flippy floppy lands I really do respect. Makindi Stampede is nice, and it will have those games where it wins it for you. But Kabira Takedown is just a beautiful, beautiful card. Now, the beautiful thing about us having Selfless here is if they go to try to remove our Venerable, we can sacrifice Selfless for the free ski. Wow, you're really not thinking about that. A 1-mana Selfless for a 3-mana Bone Crusher. That doesn't seem worth it to me. 2 mana. Sorry, 2 mana. I don't know, 3 mana. It just doesn't. I don't know. They knew we were gonna. I mean, maybe that's why they did it. But it's not like they had more removal this turn. I don't know. I'm confused. I am confused. Now we could either use Kabira Takedown, or we can use Glass Casket. I actually like the idea of using Kabira Takedown here. Cobra is so tiny and so easy to get rid of. We don't need to waste our Glass Casket, when in reality our Glass Casket can also get rid of something as big as Bone Crusher, right? So don't. My best piece of advice when it comes to removal: don't overuse it. You know, don't spend more than you need. Relic Robber. Oh, that is a card that I wish I could make work. It just doesn't seem too viable. This creature can't block either. What a bummerino. I mean, swinging in doesn't do anything for you, buddy. But you know what? Sure, let's do it. You smack him around. You show him what's up. Now we do have lethal in the skies for him come next turn. I didn't get to play Glass Casket. Hello? Oh right, we only get to play 1 card a turn, and we played Archon. That was our card for that turn. Oh no, you destroyed my flying ability. And you know the real shitty thing about Gem Razor, it's a 4 CMC creature, so there's actually nothing we can do here except just sit and wait for something bigger than a fucking land. How do I always hit lands in these times of dire need? I'll never know. I'll never fucking know. Now we could Glass Casket and take this little 0-1. I gotta say, I'm not too worried about it. We're probably gonna lose this game just off the fact that they got this little efficiency of the Gem Razor down. I tell you, Gem Razor is such a powerful fucking card. Such a powerful card. This will help us though, Luminarch, if we can keep her alive, that is. We can keep her alive. Now, fair point could be made to put a counter on the 0-1, as then we can start swinging in with it, and they have this option of either killing it or, you know, not. Anyways, they can also gain life off Clothius, which is terrible for us because we're trying to get right there within the boundaries. Oh, but they didn't. They gained mana, which honestly almost worries me a little bit more, right? All right, Bone Crusher. Bone Crusher and 4 mana. Why would they add mana if they didn't absolutely need it, right? That just seems a little strange to me. They gotta have something here. They left our Archon wide open for the attack. Oh, we're 1 mana away from Emeria's Call. Y'all know what that means, don't you? It means if I had played that Kabira's Takedown, we would have enough mana for it. It is okay though. It is okay. This is 4 damage. These guys can't block. I need you to stay back just in case they can pump that some crazy witch manner. You know, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put a counter here. If it's the same amount of damage regardless, why not? You know? Why to the not? Because we have one that's flying. I mean, they have a Gem Razor, right? 2 damage to our face holes. Not fun, not good, not great. Questing Beast, that's lethal. And it goes to show you that maybe I should have put that counter on the Luminarch Aspirant. Alrighty, up against Swartz Juggenfuhrer. Okay, that kind of got into dribble there at the end. But what is that? Is that German? I'm half German, but I'm gonna be honest with everybody. I never learned the language. We had an opportunity in high school, and man, did I ever so try to take that class. But you want to hear the fucked up thing? They told me that I couldn't because my honors classes conflicted with the scheduling. So it's like, you're telling me I can't take the foreign language I wanna because you guys suck? Made me very upset. Very, very upset. I almost want to go ahead and Glass Casket this Hateful Eidolon, because if they hit our Seasoned Hallowblade with an enchantment removal, there's nothing we can do about it. Same thing with Luminarch Aspirant. So yeah, I think we just go ahead and remove the Hateful. That way, if they do have that, sure, they're still getting our creature, but they're not getting the card draw, which is a huge kicker for them. So we'll see what nothing. They follow it with nothing. Lavabrink Venturer. If we put her down, we need to put her down for evens, I almost want to say, because that protects her from Mire's Grasp, which is the one that would actually hurt her. Let's go for... Let's go for the Seasoned Hallowblade. We'll leave the 1 mana from Shepherd. So we have the ability to bounce it if they go for a Mire's Grasp or something along those lines. And we have the ability to give it indestructible if they go for the... Yeah, see? See what I mean? I'm prepared. And I see you are not, Senior Opponent. Alright, so now we just want two mana cards on the board. I think we're going for the 2/3/1s. I think we're going for the 2/3/1s. If I have to discard here, probably going to discard the Stampede. Not going to lie, I enjoy the card, but... Mire's Grasp, that's fine. Let's get them all out of the way, yeah? Let's take them all to the face right now, right here, so we don't have to worry about it later. Now, I can go ahead and get down a Legion Angel and spawn up another one out of our hand. That sounds like a solid play, honestly. Sounds like a solid play. I do want to get down Luminarch Aspirant, don't get me wrong, but... That card immediately replaces itself, which is a super nice feeling. You know, I never actually saw the land version of this card. Like, I've only ever seen that picture on the right with the oxes. I kind of like it. Oh, they're just going to concede. They said, you know what? This isn't going well for me. Curry Pan Man. Curry Pan Man. I'm not a huge fan of Curry, not going to lie. We'll keep it. It seems pretty solid. Seems pretty all right. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan of curry. I like spicy foods, but I'm also the kind of person that, like, I like the taste of food, you know. And this isn't meant to be as an insult. I haven't really ever had any authentic curry, I guess I should say. But it just doesn't taste good to me, you know. I enjoy the spice. I enjoy the heat. I do. But the taste. But I'm a very picky eater too, you know. It took me some 20-odd years to get okay with onions. And not even like regular onions every which way. It's like the grilled onions, the sauteed, the caramel. Oh man, I'm a sucker for caramelized onions. Alright. Let's put that hard limit on them. 1 spell a turn. Can you do it at 1 spell a turn? Probably. Probably. How much is this? You don't have anywhere near enough. You're nowhere near the power level you need to be. Curry Pan Man, they're surrendering. Well, I mean, that makes sense. We had 7 points of damage, plus this, we had 9 points of damage.